and all that stuff, and look at the nature of vibration after 21, when we are now supposed to shape our environment according to what we want. So, what is the nature of vibration when a person who has not been prepared and therefore who is not ready to generate an environment as he wants it to be, to shape the environment as he wants it to be? What is the nature of vibration under those circumstances? You see, that's a very important question. Very, very, very. Versus what is the nature of vibration for a child that now he's 22 years of age and he has been adequately prepared to shape his environment according to what he wants. What is the nature of vibration in that case?
All depending on the image making process that he's been using.
Yes, sir. That's exactly it. Because remember,
I,
the imagination is one of the mechanisms by which we are enriching the information that came from the brain. And then we put it back into the brain, changing the cognition in the brain.
and we do that by selecting images.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly understand. I right now just put this on YouTube to give a little bit of value for everyone. You clearly understand that we are literally using the image making process all day long. So the richness of life comes from the richness of the ideas that you keep flashing on the screen of your mind and acting upon. The only thing you get is what you act on.
Now, underneath everything we just said right now, underneath, see, we're saying something that's very interesting, no? We say, yes, interesting. We take notes, we take notes. But hold on. Underneath everything we just said, there's a whole maelstrom of mechanisms that are absolutely invisible, but they're there at our service. They are there at our service. Okay, what my work is actually representing. It's understanding those invisible mechanisms. That's the nature of my work. That's why it's so complex and so subtle to talk about it. You know, look, for example, attention, such an incredible commodity, is born in the brain, not in the mind, but the mind makes use of it. Okay, and when there is attention, you're being notified about something. Something captures your attention. You're being notified about something that happened in your surrounding or in your body. That's naturally how attention works. You're being notified about something that is either in your body or either in the environment that is shaping you. But in the mind, there's another phenomenon where you're also notified, but that is not attention. You see what I'm saying? It's the observer who is becoming conscious. Look at that. It's an amazing thing. You see? So attention is notification from the environment. But the observer is capable of generating a notification from within itself. And when that happens, he's been awakened. He is now conscious. This being conscious is what makes an observer an observer. So now, from his very center of being an observer, now he is conscious. He's being notified about something that has to do with him. He will go back into the brain and redirect attention. That is called focus. Focus. It will use attention to focus. You see, it will redirect attention in the direction the observer wants to take the attention to. You see, the brain is constantly processing 400 billions of bits of information per second. Please mind that number. 400 billions of bits of information per second. So, of all those 400 billions, how many of them will he pay attention to? Or by how many of them will he be notified that there's something he has to pay attention to? The brain. See what I'm saying?
And this creates the feedback loop from a higher awareness to a lower awareness. And
Yes,
this is
sir.
what we want everyone to understand. You
That's
guys have the
exactly.
opportunity to really get a lot of value. We're putting this information together to help you guys. But remember, you when we started this off, you're getting influenced by the scene as you arrived at the scene. That became the feedback. And that's operating downside up. So you're taking what you're seeing at the scene and you move that into your consciousness or your awareness, then you use that idea to move right back and react to your environment. Or you can go to a higher frequency and go beyond what you see with the eyes and move into a vision. And if you go from what you see with your eyes and you move into a vision, your frequency goes up, you go higher, you move into a vision. The vision is unseen, it is not seen with your eyes, it is seen with the mind's eye. And when you work with a vision from the mind's eye, you're going to get feedback from the field, not from what's happening out here. When you move your vibration up higher, you get an idea from a vision from the field. When you go from the field and you look for more direction, you receive intuition, feedback coming from the field to tell you what to do next. And that's the feedback from universal intelligence. Then Ricardo said it, you're becoming more conscious. And then you can move that attention, that consciousness back to the attention of the brain. And then you can take action on something that's unseen. You can
Yeah,
unfold a new reality.
that's amazing, isn't it? That's really amazing. Gosh, what a power. You see, in our children are discovering that at every second. You see. So understand this, please, the scale of time. Understand the scale of time. This is important you understand the scale of time because it will make a gigantic demand of you. It will ask for something of you. It will demand it. Exigencia, an exigency, the scale of time. In the brain, attention is brought about by activity in the brain that is processing 400 billion bits of information per second. But out of those 400 billions of bits of information per second, which of those are relevant to us? The brain is doing that, you see. So how does it find out what is relevant? It goes through different levels of filters, different filtering levels, that information, from all the way from 400 billion bits of information per second to 2,000 bits of information per second. Look at that. From 400 billion bits of information per second, it gets watered down all the way to 2,000. In the brain, huh? I'm talking about the brain, only the brain. And in the 2,000 level bits of information per second, that is what your brain can pay attention to. You see, not to the 400 billion. It's too much. It can't. But it is being processed anyway. But at different levels of the brain. When it reaches the 2,000 bits of information per second, then the brain can pay attention to that. Then it can be notified by whatever is happening in your experience. It is notified, hey, man, this has to do with you. And it pays attention to that. You see? You see, but it's a filtering mechanism born inside the brain, not in you, not in the mind. It is from there, get this, it is from there what happens in the filtering process of the watering down of 400 billion bits of information per second, all the way down to 2,000 bits of information per second, that you find the unconscious, the subconscious, the preconscious, and the conscious. That's what our vocabulary we now use as. It is not correct, but I mean we don't have anything else yet. Okay, that is in the brain. So there's no such thing, technically speaking, as a subconscious mind. Technically speaking, it is a subconscious activity in the brain, unconscious activity in the brain, a
Which is
preconscious activity in the brain, and quote unquote a conscious activity in the brain. Here, words really have lose their position. Okay,
domesticating consciousness,
and the
culture.
mind and the mind will use these things, will use these levels. You see what I'm saying? We'll use it. Literally, it does so. Okay, this is where programming begins to happen. You see, programming begins to happen as the mind begins to interact with the different layers of watering down 400 billion bits of information all the way to 2,000. You see? The mind interacts with that. So when the observer interacts with the attention, okay, The observer who establishes a feedback loop between it and its own unified field where it comes from, when it interacts with that, then that new information of its own existence will generate its own actions, and that will act on the brain, changing the direction of the attention of the original attention. You see? So
We're
that
gonna
becomes,
stop right there, Ricardo.
yeah, sure.
Just giving the guys and people on YouTube value for their Monday. I'm gonna close the class. Thank you guys. We'll be seeing you guys. You got any questions? Put them up there.